Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on back to the finest of some Upsurge action. We got it nice and hot in here with some UML action. My name is Travesty. I am joined here by the ever so voluptuous you can't see him on screen, can't even do the cameras because it would just break the internet. It's Guster Posey. How's it going?
It's going, man. I hope you've been feeling better. I know you've been a little under the weather, but you sound a lot better. So
I don't sound like I'm dying. Yes.
I mean, we're all dying slowly.
Well, that's a take.
That's the secret of life.
We all live until you die. That's apparently a trade secret brought to you by Guster Posey. He trademarked it back in 1991. I'm gonna say that's the take. Yeah, there you go. Just review the trademark. But we got some good action coming up your way here. We got Honeydew versus the Goth Boy Clique, and this is gonna be some good League of Legends. I like these team names. One's a fruit. One is a South Park Clique, I would call it.
Yeah, don't call them emo kids. That is not what they are. They will take offense to that, but I had the pleasure of casting them a couple weeks ago in the first round of playoffs. I do believe it was me and Orbital casted them, and that was a very fun series. I believe it was a 2-0. Both the games were relatively close, but we're getting right on into draft, and these bands are coming out fast and furious.
I love this too. They're banning away some Gothic champions. You know, Karthus, Lysandra. Lysandra's cold as can be. That's kind of Gothic. Karthus, he's a little Grim Reaper that reads Gothic poetry. Great. Olaf, every Goth goes through a Viking phase. Makes perfect sense. So we see it, and like you said, the bands fly right off the table. And Ash going to be the first pick, a AD carry that's seen a lot of play here ever since the nerfs to the AD carry champion.
Yeah, ever since Varus and Aphelios got hit a little bit, Ash has risen up a bit in priority. We'll see what kind of build they decide to do, because Ash has like 3 kind of main builds. You can rush the Essence Reaver, you can rush Blade of the Rune King, you can even go Manamune on Ash if you want to for that extra scaling potential. So we'll have to see exactly where they're going. And with Ezreal ban, there's outside of picking the Aphelios and just waiting for late game, you're going to have to get a little more creative for something to match or to play a late game hyper carry type of champion.
I do like this. Go ahead and grab the Thresh, a very powerful support currently. I would definitely say if you want to play solo queue and whatnot, it's an S tier pick in my opinion. But Vigar coming in, and this is going to be very interesting to start things off with that pick getting locked in the first rotation pick.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I do believe that Hamlet did play Vagar last time I casted them. So we'll see what else they have in store. But Thresh and Vagar is a lot of zone control, a lot of CC, a lot of pressure in team fights, and just the straight up pick potential. But we got all 3 Freljordian queens in this draft. 2 have been picked and 1 has been banned. So we got Sejuani, who did receive a little bit of a buff, not this patch, but I believe last patch, to the per target cooldown on her E. And then hovering the Morgana as well, just a traditional counter pick into the Thresh. Ooh. Obviously, Black Shield kind of stops Thresh from existing. And here's Urgot, who is one of Yoshishi's best champions.
Yeah, when it gets into his hand, they stop calling it your god, and it's going to be your god for him. They're going to have to see exactly what this plays into. And I'm very curious actually to hear from Goth Boy Clique. A lot of confidence to pick what is more than likely going to be your 2 solo laners in the first rotation here. Very much so, not a standard strategy. And it's going to be very curious to see what the bans are going to look like, because
I think they're going to target out the meta, the player, the jungler, because he popped off big time in the series a couple weeks ago here that I saw. So just look out for some bans coming out his way. Actually, they're going to target some mid champions.
Yeah, they think this Vigar is going to the bot lane.
Picked, which, I was going to say, Vagar could technically flex into the bottom lane here, but
nothing more Goth than a Vigar Thresh bot lane.
Not unless you got the Goth Annie skin, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. She's kind of a tweener, to be honest. She comes and goes, but Galio being banned away, we're seeing a lot of attention towards this mid lane here as Honeyfruit, they have another ban to throw their way and see if it will be another one. But Vola Bear getting him taken out of here and making sure that's not going to be up Goth Boy Clique's sleeve here. But they leave up Kha'Zix.
Yeah, and Kha'Zix is something that we've been seeing a lot in pro play since he got the buffs to his Q isolation damage. Instead of the 100% bonus damage, got buffed to a 120% bonus damage on the isolation bonus for that Q. So Kha'Zix has been seeing a lot of play. In fact, I watched it get played in LEC earlier today. So definitely look out for that. It'll be interesting to see what evolution order is chosen because there's a few different ones going around right now. But Kayn being locked in here for the side of Honeyfruit means that Sejuani or Kayn, one of them is probably going to be top lane.
Yeah. This is very curious indeed, and we've actually seen a little bit of Kayn top. I've been playing a lot of League of Legends because I've been simping out for my waifus of choice. So I've been playing a lot of top lane here actually recently.
What did you think when Lilia asked you to take your clothes off?
I was really confused because I didn't know what the lore was behind this character, and I was just like, "This is a really, really weird deer doe thing." I don't understand her character. So in my head right now, I just expect her lore to be she makes people take their clothes off, but that's a Talia that's locked in, and this draft is looking very interesting, actually. There's an Akali, there's a Talia.
An interesting thing is that you can play Talia as the bottom lane carry as well. Probably more than likely just going to be the Veigar bottom lane is generally what most people try to do. And considering Talia is one of Hamlet's most played champions, probably just going to be Hamlet playing that. So we'll see exactly where everything goes, especially this Kayn and this Sejuani, because both of them can go top lane in theory, right? Like,
I'm just so curious over to Talia too, because this is a champion that we really haven't seen outside of Talia Pantheon. And I know it's going into Akali, and I'm sure it's a good matchup into Akali individually, but it just is a very interesting one that's kind of got me paused on it. I keep looking back over at Sejuani and Kayn, and I go back and go, but Akali and Talia haven't been in the mid lane in a very long time.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting for sure. I mean, Akali is still Akali, right? Like, she can still fly around and execute people, but the Talia definitely is something you would expect to see in the jungle. And just for some thing here in the client champs, like currently Skuzrat is top lane and has the Sejuani right now. Shingbear does play the Kayn a bit here, so probably that's what it's going to be, is just Sejuani top into Urgot, which
it doesn't sound fun for Sejuani.
I'm sitting there thinking, like, who would Sejuani do well into in lane? And it's not Sejuani a whole lot of champions popping up in them. I mean, old Sejuani mid was good. I mean, you could build haunting guys on her and flail the W around and do 1 million damage and pop the old E and do another 1 million damage. But this version of Sejuani, it might just be just to set up gank assist for the Kayn, so that way he can transform quickly, is what I'm thinking. But
I'm gonna break your mind. I'm gonna break your mind here. It's Sejuani support Morgana jungle. Boom.
I mean, I am a fan of Morgana jungle. I think Morgana jungle's lit, actually.
I know you are. That's why I want to bring it up. I'm gonna get your mind stuck on it. You're gonna be like, "Ooh, shiny."
Morgana jungle's lit. Syndra jungle's a lot of fun too, but Syndra's banned, so we don't get that possibility here. But it looks like they're just picking their own champions and are just gonna go with the Sedge top. So we'll see how that plays into the Urgot here. So, it is game 1 of a best of 3. So, you have a game to kind of try some shenanigans out, see how it works out. And if you win, then great, you're 1 game away. If not, okay, well, you got 2 more chances.
Yeah, I love that.
I guess technically 1 chance if you lose, but,
I just love it. If you win, that's great. If you don't, you lost. That's the simple nature of the beast. But I'm gonna be very excited to see if this Sejuani is going to be able to do too terribly much. It's been a while since we've seen solo lane Sejuani be a thing. It never made its way into pro play, but we did see a little bit of a surgence of it at some points in time in the early days of Sejuani. So I am very curious to see if it is going to be an effective pick. As I just think Urgot into a tank is just that's not what you want. You don't want to tank into Urgot.
Yeah, and in terms of like solo queue matchups, Kha'Zix generally does really well into the Kayn too. So picking
Yes.
Kayn into Kha'Zix means that Chingbear is very confident in his Kayn play, and we'll have to see because it's interesting to see what form of Kayn he's going to try and prioritize here. Because Blue Kayn is useful in its own ways. Red Kayn, has all the CC and disruption and healing and stuff. So we'll see what he prioritizes here, because he could just try to go Blue Kayn and just try to one-shot Veigar and Talia and be like, my job's done. Because between a Blue Kayn and a Akali, the Veigar and Talia are going to have a rough time if they get going, for sure.
That is absolutely true. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we talked a little bit about Lilia saying, hey, you should take your clothes off. Well, let me tell you, you should put your clothes on in a much more fashionable way. And we got a video to play to show you exactly how to be able to dress up in the highest of fashion.
Started with a vision of quality, a vision of uniformity. We took the time to create something familiar yet refreshing, something with a bit of change.
Designed to fit any brand's unique vision.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the UML. We are getting into the action here. Game 1 with Honeyfruit taking on Goth Boy Clique in what is looking like an exciting game based off of draft alone, especially since we got the boy picking up the daddy thresh skin for today. It's a game.
Yeah, and not only that, but we got Dark Harvest on Kane, Dark Harvest on Kha'Zix. Both of these junglers are looking to go ham early and often. And this kind of shows that maybe they're trying to go for blue Kane. I mean, you do see red Kane with Dark Harvest sometimes, you know, just for that little bit of extra damage. But generally, when you get the Dark Harvest, you're trying to go blue. And with, you know, 4 range characters on the side of the Goth Boy Clique, it'd be real easy to get blue Kane. And Invade snuffed out by a Dark Binding, but we'll get some words down to see where this Kane's trying to start at.
Interesting thing to take note of, too, is going to be the summoner spells of choice. As we do see the Cleanse that's actually over on the Vygar, as well as Exhaust on the Thresh, which means that tells me this is going to be a fairly, they're just wanting to farm up and kind of scale up, you know, as Vygars love to do. While on the other side, Ashe has a Cole. She's just starting straight up with the Cole.
Yeah, when I casted Goth Boy Clique, the last time around, both AD carries, Knight of the Zed, and I forget who they were playing against, but both of them started Cole whenever they were playing a marksman, and they, you know, would just both buy Cole, farm it on up, take the gold that came out of the deal, and run away with it.
It's a mutual agreement.
Yeah, I mean, you could, in theory, do it on the Vhagar, too.
Yeah.
You know, you still kill minions. It's just, you know, all the rest of the stats, other than the gold generation, aren't really useful for you.
Yeah, not exactly as cost-effective as you would like there. So just going to stick with the Doran's Ring. As well as on the other side of the map, I'm curious the fact that Urgot chose to go for the Cole to start off with, saying, you know what, I'm going to farm it out on this champion.
He's got a free lane. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sitting here trying to think of how does Sejuani trade in lane?
Doesn't.
Right? Like, she can walk up, throw a W at you, try to auto you for the frost and freeze you and smack you. But unless she saves her Q to get out of the trade, Urgot's just gonna win that every single time.
I have a better argument. It's very short. It's concise. It's a very concise point. No, that's my point. That's my talking topic.
Straight up, no.
Oh, there's no trading with that. As you can see, he's complete. The Sejuani's actually just completely been zoned off of the first wave ever since the very beginning. And you know, usually, you know, 10 CS, whatever. Urgot, that just shows the dominance that Urgot's already shown inside this lane. I'm actually curious on the fact that he's recalling right now.
Yep, getting a quick little cheetah recall off since Sejuani has essentially the entire first couple of waves at the tower. It allows Urgot to back. Just going to buy a Ruby Crystal, you know, towards that Black Cleaver there for the Phage or the Kindle Gem, whichever. Whether he values the movement speed or the cooldown reduction more, we will see. But, you know, just taking that free recall, use some mana to push out the wave, might as well get it back. You'll be back with the next wave. You won't miss pretty much anything, really.
Yeah, and, you know, the Akali versus Taliyah matchup, just something that popped through my head is you gotta be really careful playing this Akali into Taliyah. You start Naruto running at at a minion like we just saw earlier, and Taliyah has full combo up and ready to go. That's going to be a lot of pain going your way, but not if Hamlet's going to miss the combo like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you just got to kind of predict where she's at in her shroud before you can really do much of anything there.
Yeah.
And, you know, Akali is somewhat predictable. You know, she dashes, and Taliyah's E is very good at messing with people who dash. Yeah. So all that needs to happen is Akali throws her E out, it hits Hamlet, he knows, you're probably going to try to jump in on me, and just preemptively throw out an E and stand in it and dare Akali to come in and take all that damage.
I dare you to run through this. Come and see what happens. And that'll be the name of the game here, as we are seeing these... And here's Sejuani did get to catch up to the Urgot in CS, so definitely is enjoying that. And Kane doing a good job getting that farming going up early for him, as Killer Guy dropped down very low. He's going to take a couple rocks to the face. Isn't going to go down for that just yet, as
oh, he missed the cannon. It's over.
It's over. Over lane, indeed, as might see some action over here in the mid lane. Wait a second, he gets popped him up.
Got him!
That's just a stylish kill if I've ever seen one. First blood going over to the Goth Boy Clique in the mid lane.
Yeah, Hamlet putting down that ignite, landing that tectonic disruption there. or that's Vel'Kozi. What is Celia's W called? Tectonic or seismic shove. There you go.
Seismic shove, yeah, seismic shove.
Look at the teleport movement speed.
Hamlet is going to be able to get a lot of damage being put back onto him. We're seeing the Urgot jumping right back onto the Sejuani. Is trying to let those legs speak for days. But the damage getting traded back. Urgot has to flash out here. And the base damages of Sejuani are nothing to sneeze at, especially since you don't have the healing of the Conqueror.
Yeah, definitely took the press the attack just to do that bit more damage. Some people have soured on Conqueror ever since the nerf where it requires 12 stacks, especially Urgot, who is technically a ranged champion, does have to stack it a little bit slower than melee champions would. So I definitely can understand going press the attack there, but man, that is just a ton of damage going down onto the Akali just for existing in lane.
Yeah, this is the problem with Akali. I feel like it's a melee champion. It still gets to do some of the crazy stuff, right? But it's hard when you're playing against somebody who controls the lane in this kind of way as like a Talia would. Zone control mages are just so annoying for an Akali.
Yeah, and you see Nahor just going on up, getting that vision control, just trying to keep the Veigar as safe as possible. Akali got the shove on down in that mid wave as Yoshishi misses here, but ultimates are available.
He's missing, but guess who doesn't miss? It is going to be Qingbear. Going to be able to grab that kill for himself, and that was just very well done from this top jungle duo.
And look at what Kayn purchased there, the Tiamat. This is something that Karazmai does. You may know Karazmai as the Kayn, the highest rated Kayn streamer. He loves going Tiamat on Kayn. It lets you get that transform earlier. Just do, obviously, the active lets you do extra damage. The passive gives you a couple more orbs as well. It also, speeds up what is already a fast jungle clear out of Kayn. So, and, the extra health regen that's just built into the item's pretty nice as well. So, just all sorts of stuff that Kayn wants to have. So, getting it nice and early just lets you get more orbs quickly. Makes things go just a little bit faster on the transforming front.
That's always good. The further away from doing a Spica cosplay, the better you are at Kayn, as they say. And it's going to be very interesting to see if this is going to be the story of the game here. If Qingbear's going to be able to continue having this ease of control for himself. If that is going to be the case, the Baby Rage Cage is down. Cage also missing. This is a worst case scenario for your bot lane here as that Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes from downtown. And that is going to be Nahir going down orbit. We'll find that kill.
I think Knight of the Zed thought he had heal because he actually used his cleanse.
I was about to say, did he cleanse? He just cleansed.
Yeah. Maybe he thought he was going to get hit by that binding, but it was a little late for that. So maybe just thought he had heal, It's kind of muscle memory after a certain point, though. Let's be real here. If you're used to playing with heal and you're used to it being there on your F key and it's not there, and then you press it because you're like, oh no, my Thresh is going to die, and then you cleanse nothing. And you're like, oh right, I have cleanse.
See,
I no longer have cleanse.
Back in my day, you had barrier. We didn't have to worry about those things.
I remember those days. Season 3, Season 4, before they buffed the hell out of heal.
Before they made heal a relevant thing. Shameful. But,
yeah, I remember when heal was the noob trap summoner spell.
Can you imagine what kind of world we'd be in if instead of buffing heal, they buffed something like Reaver or something like that?
That was before my time.
Now, Reaver, listen, let me tell you the story about Zeke's Herald Rush Master Yi mid with Reaver.
I remember APE. I was around for APE. Those were.
I didn't go AP. It was Zeke's Herald. It was just straight up Zeke's Herald. It was Zeke's Herald when it used to give lifesteal and attack speed.
Wasn't it just an aura that gave AD and attack or lifesteal?
Yes.
So I remember building that on Nunu way back in the day when Nunu was an aura bot. You'd build like runic bulwark and stuff on it.
Oh yeah, you just played aura champions. As we do have a pause, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll be getting all of that stuff situated here, hopefully very shortly. As I want to get back into the
pause as well to make sure that spectator client doesn't bug out. It's lovely. The finest right spaghetti.
It's poopy. It's poopy. For lack of a better word, poopy is what I'm going with.
And Valorant spectator mode, by the way, not much better.
No, 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 no. I had a interesting moment where I was casting Valorant not too long ago, and there was the scoreboard broke, so we could only
Yeah.
see it
On the round swap. Yep.
Yeah, yep. I was just like, this is very interesting to cast. All right, everybody has apparently it's a 1v1. Both these players have nothing but ghosts. All right, let's go. But even when they were shooting each other with ops. But with that being said, Mountain Drake did go over to Honeyfruit. So that's going to be nice for them to be able to grab, especially with them having this Sejuani. So I bet you they are enjoying this, that free stats. At least Scudrat is definitely enjoying that.
Yeah, I mean, the one Drake, it's only plus 6%, not a whole lot. But when you have a Sejuani whose passive grants her a bajillion armor and MR, the 6% on that will add up to almost, a bit more than a cloth armor. So it's like a free cloth armor, a free no magic mantle for Sejuani at least. So not the worst thing ever. But with Infernal coming up, it means probably Ocean Soul. I don't know. Whenever I cast it, always seems to be Ocean Soul.
It's your curse that you have to deal with. I to talk about like the different things that are curses, though. I'm very curious in some of the itemization that we're seeing here. So one of them is, of course, we're seeing a Ninja Tabby straight up, just coming straight out from Urgot. Actually surprises me to see that. But over on the other side, we have the Mana Moon on the Ash. So going for a much different build. As anybody knows, if you look at any Korean build right now, they are building Mana Moon on every single champion, basically, because the item is pretty disgusting.
I think the only ADC that they do not build it on is like Caitlyn, just because of her headshots and crit is too good. But on everything else, it's pretty good. You obviously have to take Presence of Mind, and that's the whole shtick behind it. Is you get that 500 extra mana once Presence of Mind is stacked up, which synchronizes with the AD that Mana Immune gives you, and once it's transformed into Muramana, that on-hit damage is increased because of you having so much mana, and then you get a kill and assist, and Presence of Mind restores a bajillion mana, so you basically just never always have your Muramana on at full force, and it's only 2,400 gold. So if you have the time to invest into it for 2,400 gold, you get a bunch of free AD and a bunch of on-hit damage once it's done, and with a champion like Ashe, who generally just kind of builds on-hit stuff anyway, it's pretty good. I've seen it on Twitch. I've seen it on Misfortune. Draven was one of the early ones that did it with lethality. We've seen farming Senna come back to relevance too.
Yep, we actually saw they tried to make it work with Grasp, which was very interesting. It was a very tanky Senna, and now they've kind of gone back to farming Senna with the Mana Moon, as they're just like, wait a second, Mana Moon, just a broken item. So, but basically, not even just AD carriers. You're seeing AD champions in general that are building Mana Moon. I remember in Korea, there's actually a thing where it goes, there's a jungler over in Korea who's playing Mana Moon Kayn. And just like straight up just playing the crap out of it. And it's just
Kayn and Mana Moon Kindred are both things you can do in the jungle.
Yeah, I'm smelling a nerf coming is what I'm saying. Because I feel
here's the thing though, is it's not Mana Moon's fault. It's Presence of Mind's fault is what it is.
Playing the blame game here, man.
If they nerf Mana Moon and they inevitably nerf Presence of Mind, then Mana Moon's just going to be a bad item. I was going to use a more strong word, but I decided to not curse on stream as much.
It's pee-pee poo-poo.
Yeah, let's go with that. If they nerf it, if they nerf like the damage on it, it's just not going to be good. Maybe they could nerf how much AD it gives and make the actual Muramana like active damage a little bit better. Maybe, but I think it's just Presence of Mind is just too good.
I say you take it back to the day where you got permanent cooldown reduction. Let's just go back to that.
I want Ultimate Hat back. Forget about this Ultimate Hunter stuff. Ultimate Hat was lit, right? Let's get rid of Nimbus Cloak. Let's nerf Phase Rush again. I'm tired of everyone just smacking me 3 times and running away. I'm tired of junglers that already have blue smiting me and getting movement speed and chasing me down. We're not about that life. Let's get rid of Nimbus Cloak.
You don't like Nimbus Cloak is what I'm hearing here. It definitely isn't oppressive to have somebody run at you a million miles per hour after they smite or do something.
Oppressive for a Darius to teleport in Ghost with Nimbus Cloak and just go ham, moving at 1200 movement speed out of nowhere.
To be fair, that champion's been broken for the past 10 patches, right? Like, like Darius and Garen have been like, if you guys play top lane, or if you don't play top lane, it doesn't really matter. Just play Darius or Garen if they're up, and that you just won. You won your lane. If you win the game, that's up to That's up to you. That's up to you.
Don't play top lane. Don't start. By the way,
if you don't play top lane, you're lucky.
There is nothing good about top lane. Do not go up there.
Remember how I told you I've been playing top lane because I've been simping out?
I've been playing Lion King, and Mufasa talks about the shadowy place.
That's top lane.
That's top lane. Don't go there.
I've been playing Vayne top. Is what it's become. I don't want to play Vayne AD carry because I'm a bad AD carry player, but playing Vayne top lane, that's a chef's kiss right there.
Yeah, I mean, whenever people try to play, normal melee champions, just come up there with an ADC and have fun, and they're like, "No, you can't play ranged people up here."
And then range goes burr is the appropriate response. It's a good counter pick into Urgot, right? So Urgot, god tier champion, right? The God doesn't do well in the Vayne. Fun fact. Hard counter matchup. Just more given the schooliness. We're trying to figure out what happened. Apparently the jungler's internet went boom. He was getting too many souls, farming too hard, and it just overloaded his CPU. It exploded. I heard that the last thing they heard him say was "my chickens," and that was it.
My chickens. He's playing Minecraft.
Yeah, it's one of those things to go for and see what they do. And I hope that they do get the issue resolved. Of course, you never want to see a loss because your player had technical difficulties.
Yeah, and in all the time I've been TOing for League of Legends and casting, I've only had one series actually end like that, and it was super unfortunate because it was Game 5 of a semifinals back in Compete League. And he was like a teenager or something in high school. He didn't do his homework, and his parents turned off the internet on him. Like in Game 5, it was a super tense game. Game 5, we paused for the full amount of pause time, and they forfeited because it's just a rough time. It's the only time.
I was there for that. I think I believe I was there for that. But
the moral of the story is, kids, do your homework so your parents don't unplug your internet.
Or don't do your homework, but convince them that you're going to be the next faker. That's another option. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't do your homework. I'm saying you should definitely stay in school. But if you could be faker, be faker. That's all I'm saying.
Is that you can be whatever you want unless you can be
Batman? No, I just like the storyline idea that one day NA will give birth to its own residential faker, and we'll go to Worlds and stomp everybody, and it'll be hilarious. I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for the chosen one to show himself. It's been a couple years.
He's already here. He's on Evil Geniuses. His name is Golden Glue.
Dude, the golden boy there as hey, he's already slain C9, so I mean, what can't he slay? Right? Exactly. All these LPL teams are shaking in their boots at the thought of Golden Glue coming in to just annihilate them in the mid lane.
Oh man.
That's what I live for. That's what I'm living for. What are you living for? Gus, wait, hold on. I have a quick question. Who are you simping for in the League of Legends event? You really haven't said anything except for the deer taking people's clothes off.
I've been waiting for a good Kindred skin to come out ever since a little while after. Really, like Shadowfire is cool. I dig Shadowfire, but this one is chef's kiss, like big time. That so I've been doing every event, but the Kindred or the Riven one is
the Kindred skin is definitely the most uwu, right? Like, if there was an uwu skin, that's the most uwu one.
Yeah, I'm just not sure about the connotations of simping for literal death in the form of a loli. That's my thing.
See, here's the thing. As a person who's watched a lot of anime, that's a pretty normal thing. A lot of people simp for the lollies that cause death.
But this lolly doesn't cause. This lolly literally is.
Just go watch Gate. It's an anime called Gate. It's basically what would happen if modern day soldiers got thrown in an anime fantasy world. There is literally a lolly that is the Grim Reaper, and there is a humongous fan base for that character where they're just like, all right, yeah, we simp for him. Let's go. So it's a thing. It's a thing. I'm currently in the cultured table of Vane Cassio. I don't even like snakes. I hate snakes actually.
Well, there
And I
are
can't
a
get
ton
away
of
from
voice
cats.
lines in that one about her crushing your bones, and there's
That might be what I'm into. You
she's
discovered something
literally-
about me.
There's literally voice lines where she's like, "Yes, yes, crush your bones. You humans sure are weird." She's like getting actively annoyed by you asking her to crush. So
Maybe maybe I'm discovering something. It's a journey of self-discovery that Riot's leading me along.
I'm just surprised by how forward some of them are. Like when you first talk to
like
Ari,
Lilia, yeah.
there's a line that's like, "Are you going to transform into a beautiful fox lady that I'm going to fall in love with?" And it's just like, wow, right?
Yeah.
How on the nose can you be?
Yeah. There's the normal response. There's the jokey response. There is the thirsty response, and I feel like League of Legends knows its community by putting in the thirsty response.
Well, yeah, they literally made another Yasuo, and they're going to release another Yasuo.
God, the bad thing is it's not even. I
played him
don't
on
feel like
IBE earlier. He's pretty fun.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? I don't feel like the weirdest thing about Yasuo and his brother, right? Yone. First and foremost, weird name. Makes me want to say your name. That's his name. It's a weird name. But anyways, girls don't even really care for Yasuo in my experience. It's mostly the guys that are like, oh yes, Yasuo. Oh man, I've never met a female Yasuo one trick, is what I'm saying here. Never met one. I don't feel like I'm gonna meet a Yon, or Yone, or Yone, or Yune, or Uni. Uni. I'm never gonna see the one trick from that. I feel like it's the guys who thirst over Yasuo more than the girls. Is what my point is.
Just some tweets from some female people I follow, and they had the screenshot from the little thing, the animation earlier of Yasuo in the bath, and they were had the biting lip emoji going on. So they're out there.
They might be out there, but I feel like the there's definitely the guy simp ratio is higher for Yasuo than any other character. I feel like guys simp for Yasuo pretty hard.
This skin line and this whole event, Riot is going to make the most money that they have ever made.
Please make every event a freaking this. Like, this is the gold standard.
The only thing we are missing is a Lux skin. Think about it.
All right,
we have not only a Yasuo skin, literally a new Yasuo champion who's also getting a skin, an Ari skin.
I feel like the next line that they could do if they wanted to do something similar to this is Battle Academia. They could easily do like a like high school Battle Academia version. And they could easily do that. That could be a very interesting.
They've already got Gurren Lagann, and they've got like Academy skins. So now it's just time to mix them.
Yeah, that I'm looking forward to everybody just going absolutely nuts about sitting at they get into class and they're like, I have to sit in the seat beside the window. I'm the main character. Let me get in there. I'm just waiting for the day where they're like, all right, now customize your character as you embark on your journey to simp over all your waifus and husbandos. That's what I'm waiting on. That's when they make the mega bucks. They can turn around and be like, hey, we'll sell you different customization options for your avatar via RP. And boom, money. Riot, hire me. I got you. You want to make money? Just listen to me. I'll teach you the ways of anime.
Yeah, so a little bit of an update here. The rules do say that they had to unpause with 15 minutes of pause time left. However, apparently Gothboy Clique is allowing them some more time. And apparently the player is running back to his college campus to use the internet there because, So we'll see how long it takes him.
I'll be honest. This is desperate times call for desperate measures. If running back to your college for internet is not desperate times, I feel like you have not gone to college and experienced what it is like to be on the college internet.
It's a bad time. Actually, at my college, it was alright. I could play League of Legends in the library if I really wanted to, but I was actually focused on actual schoolwork and stuff.
I wasn't. My schoolwork was playing video games. That was my distraction. We had projects that would be due, and they would just be like, "All right, yeah, so you gotta write a report about something." Like they wanted me to write a report about a movie with like certain effects and stuff like that. So I watched Final Fantasy VII Advent Children and wrote a report about it.
That's funny.
Being a film major was pretty fun, honestly. Except for the uncontrollable debt that comes with it.
I was gonna say. That's the thing is, yes, you can go to college and learn a lot of cool stuff, but the debt will sneak up on you. So unless you get the job as a filmmaker afterward, then your degree was a thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. It's a good topic starter in most conversations. They usually ask, so why don't you do it? And then you laugh for a little bit until the laughing turns into tears, and then the tears. That's when people stop talking to you at the party. It's
why am I crying in the club right now?
Yeah, crying at the club. You go to take a swig of your drink, and it tastes a little bit more salty because of your tears. It's a crucial time, and it's a terrible time.
If I know anything about college parties, that may not be why your drink tastes salty, but we'll leave that for another day.
We will leave that for another day. As you know what, I gotta say, I like the sportsmanship between these two teams here. You know, I've been reading some of their chat logs between each other. Some of them are saying, let's just 4v4 TFT. Let's get it. We're starting the Upsurge TFT League.
I told them to change this custom game to a Nexus Blitz game.
Can you do a custom Nexus Blitz game?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. I don't think you get to choose what events happen. I think that's still just random. But
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. But what you're telling me is I have the opportunity to pitch right here, right now, to Upsurge and its community a Nexus Blitz tournament. All Elos welcome. Let's get this bread. Let's see who the real blitzer is. It's time to blitz.
I love Nexus
gonna be
Blitz. If you want the secret OP strategy in Nexus Blitz here, you play Yi and Lulu as your jungle.
Stop it.
You literally just play Yi and Lulu, and Spear of Shojin exists, and it's just like
I had to play against a Protect the Mundo comp the other day. That did not feel good. If you didn't know, Mundo has a lot of items that are only available in Nexus Blitz that are really good on him, and having a Soraka Karma backing him up is terrifying.
Well, I'm being told you can't custom Nexus. You can't on PBE. I was on PBE earlier and saw it. Maybe that's where I've been mistaken.
Could be. You could absolutely be mistaken, but I doubt it because you're Guster Posey, and you don't make any mistakes.
That is blatantly false, but okay. I'm down.
Listen, let me just hype you up, man. I got you. The next thing that comes out of your mouth, Gus, 100% true, no matter what it is.
So we're being told that if the timer gets down to 3 minutes, they are going to forfeit game number 1 here. So we'll see what's going on here. They're talking.
Yeah, they're figuring it out. You know, it's the unfortunate bit of League of Legends. We've seen some very interactive gameplay here today. It's been almost 30 minutes, and we've only seen 1 dragon taken. That is a stat that we can use. This could also be the lowest kill game of UML history, with only 3 kills in over 30 minutes. So that's another.
This is one of those games Monte Cristo dreamed about. The perfect game of League of Legends.
Yeah, this is like that one Echo Thoughts game from like 2 years ago where they won with 3 kills. Just perfectly executed League of Legends. Times. That was back when we had you say dark, I say the brightest and most enlightening of our time.
Oh, don't remind me of lane swap meta, man. Those games that was dark.
I miss
watching the top laners be level 1 like 8 minutes into the game with like 2 CS that they managed to get before everyone showed up.
It made you feel happy, didn't it? Because you don't play top lane.
Oh man, I remember I was playing on a team and we were trying to learn how to do it, and it was just like, dude, this is dumb.
I remember playing on a team that would be like, "Hey, Travis, you should play Urgot. He's broken," and then I wouldn't play Urgot until he got nerfed, and they would just be like, "Wow, Travis, great, nice of you. Why don't you play the champions when they're broken, Travis?"
Yeah, Travis, Urgot and Aatrox were meta for a year. I don't think you ever played it when they were meta.
And then they got nerfed, like they got straight gutted, and I'm like,
They still
guys,
play Aatrox though, and I don't know why.
I'm like, hey guys, blind me, Aatrox or Urgot. They're like, you just got nerfed. it's phenomenal, and yeah, it's a definite storyline. I like to say that my competitive history, Malphite is my signature champion. That's my claim to fame because I'm online.
True. Exactly.
Now with everything else going on, I do want to ask the Twitch chat. Me and you had a conversation about it. Who are you guys simping for in the League of Legends event? That's what I want to know. I want to know who the chat is simping for, because that's the most important part. That's where you get your demographics, your stats, the quick stats, the Travis stats, the Upsurge stats. Coining that. That's where you're
Trademarking it.
yeah, trademarking it. I'm trademarking a lot of things on this broadcast, is what I'm finding out. I'm ready to see, man. It's gonna be a good time, and yeah, I'm looking.
I wish that their jungler could be like live streaming from his phone, and we could all just tune in and see. He's running up to the campus now. We can see him. Campus is slowly approaching. He's running as fast as he can. He's been running for half an hour.
We would just be wrestling commentators at that point. We're talking about somebody making their debut into the arena. Like, oh my God, who could that be? It's him. It's Chingbear. He's in the arena. Oh yeah. like I can see it now. He just like Gus pops out of his chair. He's like, by God, Chingbear's here.
Oh my God, it's Chingbear. As God is my witness, he is broken in half.
Ain't nobody ready for him today. I'll be in the side. I'll be trying to do the best, like, oh yeah, what you gonna do when Chingbear walks into the arena and looks at you? He's got you in here. He's got you paused for a whole 30 minutes. And you don't know what you're gonna be able to do. Oh yeah. Like that's all I'm going to be able to do. That's all I got wrestling wise. That's the only impersonation I got to give.
I highly doubt that, knowing you.
No, you're probably right. I tortured Opal with it the other day. I was like, you know what, Opal, we should just have a broadcast where I just cast like that the entire time. That's what I need to do. Just jump.
Yeah.
Ooh,
like the monkey.
Oh yeah, you were able to see him. He's getting into the play here. He's going to be going around the back end and going to be looking to be able to get the kill. Oh yeah.
The cream of the crop always rises to the top, and that is the top lane, and you don't go there.
Yeah, it's just how it ends up going. Yeah, that was our guaranteed 2 minutes of us talking in voices like that. And can we? I feel like in honor of this game, Upsurge should like have a Poggy Woggy emote or some sort. Like, I feel like that's just a signature thing at this point.
Pawsy Wazzy.
Pawsy Wazzy, yes. Ooh, I like it. Pawsy Wazzy. Can we get a Pawsy Wazzy in the chat? Thank you.
This reminded me of Compaw's League.
That's another legacy right there. My favorite legacy is being the Southern Belle.
True.
Yeah,
people are starting to quit. I don't know if they've actually abandoned this game or not. No one from the admin team has let us know that they have abandoned the game as of yet.
Absolutely rigged by the admins right there. Just not letting the casters know. Just rigged.
Big rig.
Big rig. Big rig. That's not very Poggy Woggy is all I'm gonna say. See what they'll be able to do here. I wanna see what could happen though if this game were to continue forward. I want to see Sejuani build a Rage Blade. That's what I want. That's what I want.
I don't definitely think that, but it does actually look like everyone is abandoning this game, so it will be a forfeit win here for the side of Goth Boy Clique, looks like. So that is definitely
a well played game of League of Legends, right there.
It's unfortunate the game had to end that way, but real life things do end up happening.
Gus,
So,
important, right here, right now. Name an MVP.
Cox Internet.
There we go. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're just going to go ahead and throw it over to a short break. As congratulations to Goth Boy Clique for picking up game 1 in a thrilling game to start off the series. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be getting into, honestly, probably even some more insanely close action here. So be sure not to touch that browser.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know who it is coming around again. You want a dose of this right now? Well, it's Travi and Gus as we are getting into game 2 here. And after what was a thrilling back and forth game 1, we are hopping into game 2 where Goth Boy Clique is coming into this with the advantage. A big come from behind victory there.
Yeah, I mean, they were technically down about 100 gold, but you know, just some internet diff, unfortunately. But Chingbear is here in the lobby yet again. So I believe his campus was closed. So the word on the street is he just is in a McDonald's parking lot with his laptop, using that free Wi-Fi. So we'll see how that comes into play. But in terms of the draft so far, things look pretty much the same from game 1, just swapped around. You know, we didn't get to see a whole lot. We didn't get to see what that Sejuani top really could do outside of, almost killing Urgot solo and all the shenanigans that ended up happening there before the pause. Was building Sunfire Cape, and then the game ended.
Honor code dictates that you pick all the same champions right now.
Well, there is Ash on the blue side yet again. Unfortunately, Goth Boy Clique is on blue side this time.
Wow. Well, just switching things up like that. All right. Well, I mean, you can still do the same thing. Now we'll have to see if Honeyfruit's going to end up picking, what was it? Thresh Vigar. That's the first rotation that Goth Boy Clique. Let's see it. That's not that. Well, that's a Gothic champion.
There's Thresh, though.
Yeah, there's Thresh. So we got 200 years of soul stealing experience down here in the bot lane.
Yeah. I mean, Aphelios did eat some nerfs, but by and large, still able to do what Aphelios does, which is scale really well, do a bunch of damage, and sometimes make you question Riot's balance team and design team.
His turret can still one-shot you. Is the main thing that I always go back to. Is like
it's got like a longer time before it actually shoots you now. Okay.
Yeah. We can say that, but there's also going to be Brum, so we got the strongest muscle here over for Goth Boy Clique. This is not looking like a very Goth comp, but they do lock it in with the Urgot. So see if
Brum's cheery for to be Goth. Brum was the Gothic kid that grew out of it.
Now he's in this. Now he's in. Like, imagine Sir Buttkick. Like, if you don't know who Sir Buttkick is, or Kangas Cast, as he likes to call himself.
I told him he should have been called Kangas Khan.
Look at a picture of him right now, and just imagine him with like a emo swoop, and that's what Braum was back in the day, back when he was 16.
Oh man. But, Honeyfruit banning out the Talia and Oriana this time around. Don't wanna let Hamlet get the Talia yet again. But with the Sejuani locked in, we kind of have to just kind of assume it's going back top lane against the Urgot. We'll see what Honeyfruit wants to do here. If they want to pick away the Kha'Zix that is up, if they're willing to pick the Kayn blind again. We'll see what they decide they end up.
Well, we really didn't get to see too much in the way of jungler interaction, but Gragas getting locked in, a champion that had kind of fallen out of favor for a bit of time.
Does this mean that Yasuo's coming in?
It might be. Could be. This would be a composition that, honestly, I mean, with a Yasuo, it would work out pretty well. It does make your composition all AD. Yasuo doesn't really care about that too much. I mean,
Urgot's not like an actual tank, and there's not very many tank junglers that are a thing now that Sejuani is taken off the table.
Yeah, besides Zac, right? Like, Zac would be the only other tank jungler I can think of that would be...
Skarner did get buffed, though.
Oh, yeah, Skarner got buffed.
And I guess Trundle's technically a tank as well, but
he's gonna steal Sejuani stats, the ultimate Sejuani counter. The only thing is, usually you see it where
these Sedges top lane take grass. They don't have the aftershock, so it does mitigate it a little bit. But still, if you are able to subjugate the Sejuani with their passive on, you will still cause her to be, if not actually negative armor MR, pretty darn close to it.
What if it's the Urgot jungle Trundle top lane swap?
Urgot jungle is not the greatest thing ever, but it is possible to do.
Yeah, I do it. It's a fun little rotation.
The only jungler you play is Lee Sin, and we got AP well, there's no saying if it's going to be AP, but Kog'Maw, whether that is jungle Kog'Maw, just kidding. No, that's probably just Kog'Maw mid AP.
Probably. We'll have to see what the performance was going to be like. We'll have to see if this is going to. We talked last time. We gave a little bit of flame, calling it, making sure that the Kayn doesn't turn into Speaker Kayn. So we'll have to see if this Kog'Maw doesn't become Jizuke Kog'Maw, because he didn't have a great performance on that champion himself.
I mean, do we get to say that Kayn didn't transform in over 30 minutes?
Yes, we do. That's an absolute thing that we get to say. That was the longest game I've seen a Kayn stay normal in ever. Honestly, the last game one was a game for the history books. Honestly, I have never seen such a level of scaling come out from either one of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, the Veigar, I didn't even get a chance to check how much AP Veigar had from his passive.
It was nuts. It was off the charts. I'll break your internet if you look at it.
Oh, so it was you. You admit it.
No, I did not put Ham in the server. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
But hey, this is a different composition. I was actually kind of expecting a little bit of the same, but instead we got a complete swap up. Gragas and Trundle getting locked in inside the jungle is a complete change of pace. And then in the mid lane, we're seeing Zillion Kog'Maw, a complete change of pace of what we saw in the game as well. So just some major changes coming out here from game 1 to game 2, even though game 1, of course, didn't really get to go to the desired point to see how those compositions would have played against each other.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it's always fun when you get assassin versus assassin in the jungle, the Kayn and the Kha'Zix making things happen. This time around, definitely a little less exciting. Well, maybe more exciting if you're into Trundle just smashing people with his bone shiver. But this comp looks more like a Juggergot comp.
Juggergot.
Zillion can ult Ashe and buff up Ashe and make Ashe run around and do crazy things.
Yeah.
But the Urgot here is the true juggernaut of this composition here. So speeding up the Urgot, making sure that when Urgot goes in and dies, that he comes right on back. Zillion, Zillion providing ancillary damage as well, making things happen. Trundle there just to stop Sejuani from existing as a viable front line. But on the side of Honeyfruit, you got scaling and more scaling. Gragas did just get buffed, got his AP ratios increased a little bit. So we'll see if he gets played again. And Predator got changed to be a little bit better when they first changed it and kind of reworked it. So we'll see if Jingbear goes for that new Predator on Gragas or not. And then AP Kog'Maw and Zillion in the mid lane is kind of a snooze fest, to be honest. They're both just going to chill back and farm. There shouldn't really be any kills unless a good double bomb lands onto the Kog'Maw when he's out of position and Trundle follows up with a pillar. That's about the only way I can see any action actually happening in the mid lane. And then bottom lane is just, Ash Braum against the Felios Thresh. They're just all just going to sit back and scale. I'm kind of expecting both players to just buy coal and kind of farm it out.
Farm it out, talk about your feelings. That's always what I feel like is singing that Kumbaya, you talking all chat with each other, say, wow, yeah, and you missed that cannon. Good luck. And then you just keep doing it. And that's how you play coal lane. I'm not as big a fan of everybody building coal, but these Ash and Aphelios probably going to be looking at those items. We saw the Urgot actually start off his lane with that item as well. I'm actually kind of curious if this will turn into a little bit of adaptation because we did see Sejuani damage catch the Urgot by surprise last time around. So I'm going to be curious if there will be a little bit of adaptation coming out from the Urgot in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure he got too much out of it playing the first, 15 minutes of a game before the pause came in. But actually, it's probably less, right? It was like 19 or 9 minutes or something. So, didn't get a whole lot of time to feel things out, but did almost die solo. But the thing is Sejuani, that's why he had the Ninja Tab bias, because Sejuani's W is physical damage, and her Q is physical damage. Really and truly, the only magic damage she does is her passive, the E thing, and then the ult is magic damage. The rest of it's mostly just physical. So, definitely made sense for the Tabi to come out, but this game is a whole different thing that we got in store here.
I agree, and it's a whole new world, man. Whenever you introduce when the jungler and mid laner changes to this degree, it actually really does change a lot of things. We've had aggressive ganking junglers that really want to do some damage in the Kha'Zix Kayn last game. We've swapped it over the Trundle Gragas. It's like we've gone back a full 10 seasons this is what the meta was beforehand. You pick Trundle, you pick Gragas. Woo! So seeing that, it's gonna be very interesting. See how they end up playing this out. If this will be a much more slow or steady race, as we were seeing a little bit of more constant action. But Gus, what gives you really constant action?
What's that?
Having a phenomenal keyboard from Kono. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You will be able to clickety clack onto anything that you need to with the finest of gaming peripherals that are out there. Where can you find them, may you ask? Well, I got an answer for you. That is at Kono, kono.store. That's KONO.store for you to be able to get the finest of gaming peripherals. It helps you out with anything. It gets you elo. It makes it to where the 2D girl you always wanted the romance, perfect romance. Boom. 2D girls, they're all yours. You can conquer all the flags. You look at disconnecting from your game. Boom, Kono. It stops that. Magical. I know. If you have a Kono keyboard, anything is possible. Even being able to hit Challenger. You can quote me on that one. You just play with a Kono keyboard long enough, and eventually you may probably get there. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to have them as a sponsor. They're phenomenal. Like I said, go check them out. Kono.store for you to be able to get the hottest of gaming peripherals. With that being said, we're going to take ourselves a short break. When we come back, we're going to be getting into a thrilling game 2 here. So be sure not to touch that browser. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Poggy Woggy game of Upsurge over here in the UML. I'm Travesty. I am joined here by Gustaposy. Let's get ready to get this bread as we are going into game 2.
And looking once again, and it will be that AP Kog'Maw with the Doran's Ring and the Phase Rush in the mid lane. Gragas does have the Predator. Phase Rush on Trundle, PTA for Urgot yet again. Glacial Zillion, Conqueror Felios. Rest of it's pretty normal stuff, it's just, hopefully we get through the entire game this time.
Maybe. There's a possibility. I think we went through an entire game last time, to be honest.
You mean a possibility?
A possibility, yes. There, I feel like this is a great time. We pushed a lot of things to Upsurge, and I think that was a great demo reel the last game for our podcast that has yet to be released. It's the Gustasty show.
If we want to make it a pun about Upsurge, we could call it the Rising Tides podcast or something like that.
The Rising Tides. Boom. That's our let Upsurge get on it. But we are seeing just a standard start coming out here from the jungle. Nothing too crazy is currently going on here. Nobody bats, switched out the sweeper. Nothing.
They use the Guardian for the leash though for Trundle, which is interesting because Trundle has some of the best sustain out of any jungler when he actually kills things.
I like this.
King's Tribute.
I like this. Look at the mind games actually that this got played. He made sure to make it to where he was hugging the wall when he came in to try, and immediately there was a ping that came out. So I like that. That's a little bit of mind game saying your red buff is gone.
Those are the kind of mind games you play. But a lot of the time, even in competitive play, people don't always pay attention to every little bit of information that they get. So it'll be interesting to see if Gragas tries to go down to the opposing side of the jungle. As the level 2 set up at top lane, Urgot tried to dash in but couldn't quite find anything.
Yeah,
Orbit on the Thresh has the Spirit Blossom skin this time around.
Yep. I appreciate that we are seeing consistency in players picking the superior Thresh skin. If you are a Thresh player and you don't own the skin, are you really a Thresh main? Is all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, true. You also need the blushing Thresh icon. Otherwise, you're not a Thresh main either.
Yeah, that's why I have the blushing.
Oh, good timing on that hook.
To connect. Fortunately, it was on Braum, not the person you really want, but good invade coming out here from the meta, jumping on to Chingbear.
Yeah, it looks like the red buff did reset on Chingbear, so that is definitely unfortunate there. But They're trying to collapse in here on the meta, but that's just a little AP Kog'Maw with not a whole lot of AP.
Yeah,
Get a whole lot done.
not a lot of AP, not a lot of mana. You just chase them down, get some with a little couple bombs, some spitballs, if you will. But
that is one thing about playing something like the AP Kog'Maw mid is there's really no way for him to get priority against pretty much anything, right? It either costs him too much mana, or he wants to save mana and cannot push. So as a jungler that's not the greatest early game ever, like the Gragas, it's easy to invade on in, and that hook went around a minion.
Yeah, that was a very interesting thing to say. Orbit making use of his name and doesn't even have to grab you. He just needs the gravitational pull, baby.
Yeah, and real quick, just going back on mid, making Killer Guy have to walk on that after getting teleported back into the mid lane. We'll see how much CSK actually misses here. Is Hamlet just throwing down those double bombs, landing the stun, and I think he even might have missed the cannon minion there, and that's like the worst thing ever is when the cannon's there getting hit by the tower and you get stunned, and you're just like, no, I don't care about the damage, I just want the gold from the cannon. You're a monster.
Yeah, it's just, you just look at it longingly, like, my minion, no, come back, and it's just a sad story, but getting into that 5-minute mark. About this time of the game is where we saw some action. So see if we'll see a similar tale from these two teams here. As
Gragas is making his way down bottom lane through the lane looking for a lane gank. And with the lantern set up, there is a possibility for it. Jingbear was not spotted, but the lane is definitely in a bit of a weird state to try to pull something off. Especially with the Infernum coming out, just going to be able to push the waves. So Gragas turning into just sit here and cover for
land. There's the lantern, and it is gonna be night for Knight of the Zed. He cleansed, he flashed, but he goes on down. First blood, and that is going to be sitting nice and pretty on Aphelios.
Yeah, and that's exactly where we want the first blood. Spoke a little bit too soon about it just turning into a clear the wave and leave reset mission when that hook comes out of nowhere and lands on the Ashe, and you will get the solo plate gold as well. So this Aphelios already up 700 gold.
Yeah, and that's a nice place to be at for sure here. Seeing as Ashe got forced to buy a pickaxe on that recall.
So probably going for, either going for the Infinity Edge first or just buying that pickaxe for the Manamune. So we'll see where that ends up going, because unlike Ezreal or Kai'Sa, Ashe doesn't really spam spells enough to make use of buying just the tier if you go the Manamune. Most AD carries would rather just sit on the pickaxe until they can complete the Manamune. So that's probably what's going on there. But Aphelios is happy, got a BF sword, got boots, and a dagger, so that's a happy Aphelios right now.
Hey, he's looking pretty comfortable for himself there, and being able to have that is always nice.
Also, both ADCs didn't go Cole. They actually both went Doran's Blade. So,
There's no honorable agreement there for the double Cole matchup. Over in the top lane, we did see Urgot still go that route. He actually changed up his path a little bit. Didn't do that early recall and actually saved up for a Phage. So looking to be a little bit more aggressive with his stats, not going for that cooldown reduction in this lane.
Yeah, just getting that movement speed, knowing that, Gragas is going to be looking for him out on the gank path there, but just deciding, you know what, just going to build up Black Cleaver. Didn't even get the Ninja Tabby first because, there's no Kayn in this game that's going to be trying to gank him if he wants to go for Red Kayn, so doesn't need all that extra armor and survivability and whatnot, but we'll see what Jingbear can get done on this Gragas as the level 6s are approaching.
Yeah, Godboy Clique actually has complete control over this bottom side river, so this is really nice on their part, doing this dragon, and Gragas does need to be careful about this, as he get jumped into very quickly by this brawl.
He kind of walks down there and sees him, but a lot of damage coming out from Yoshishi. Urgot was available, but knowing that needed a bit more damage to finish that one off, couldn't find it, and Skuzrat still has flash available, so unlikely, but that arrow
will land onto orbit, trying to lay out the damage. He's getting dropped down still there. Destined to connect, but Zillion there to keep him alive. That will be a kill that's going over to Nahura. as they will be grabbing that. Is yet again is Argot looking for a trade up on the top side, but very well played from both sides there, almost getting a kill for a kill.
Yeah, it took a flash chrono shift from Hamlet to keep the meta from actually dying and have it count as a death, because, you know, he did die, but there is the Glacial Prison coming out and having to flash away Yoshishi because Kog'Maw was there.
Yeah, he was going to bomb on him, man. That's gross. Been bombed on by a Kog'Maw. It's disgusting. It's everywhere. You can't get it out of your hair for like 3 whole days. It's just a terrible time, as nobody enjoys that, as you can see. Gene Bear trying to just keep this mid wave in a position for the killer guy be able to get back in and do some killing to those minions guy.
Yeah, and Orbit getting some vision down because the Goth Boy Clique has had the run of the bottom area. You know, outside of that first blood, you know, they had control. They got the dragon. They picked up the kill onto Orbit right afterward. And, you know, outside of the Aphelios, the rest of Goth Boy Clique is doing very well for themselves.
Yeah, doing pretty fine for themselves, I would say, indeed. And I love the different options that we are seeing. Zillion actually going for a Rod of Ages, by the way. It looks like from the itemization that he's going. So
that's interesting with the Glacial.
Yeah.
Generally, you go the GLP as your, you know, your mana item. And so a little bit on the interesting side. We'll see if he goes for GLP afterward or if he gets the Spooky Ghost or something.
You can go any item that you want on Zillion, quote me.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying with the rune choice, you know, you kind of wanted to make use out of the Glacial Ornament.
It's no fun time PTA Zillion, but it is definitely a very interesting time for him, as we're seeing a bit of damage coming back in, trying to trade back with this Sejuani. Sejuani doing a good job trading with his Urgot, actually, working out pretty well. Unfortunately, though, is getting further and further down in CS. He's going in, beautiful body slam into 2. They are going to have to coming out. Good job from Knight of Zed, but he's going to take some damage. Oh, jeez. Is going to be tore up. Meta's over here into the top side, looking for maybe a possible dive. This could be very tricky, though, as they will be able to call in Shelly. Here she comes.
Yeah, they're just going to have to get on out of there, get the charge off, get whatever play cold you can, but Meta's going to have to make sure that Yoshishi can get out.
Oh, no, that's brilliant. Here, Hamlet's going to find himself going down into a very bad situation. Lots of damage being put onto him, but will not be the end of him just yet, because Chakams are doing so much damage as they keep trading this on back and forth. Now we're seeing a bit more trading coming out from this Urgot. Trying to lay out the damage. He's going to be able to get the flip onto him, but the damage is not going to be in his favor. Gragas is coming over here to the side, and it looks like just an even trade has happened. Now the meta is going to get jumped onto by Jing Bear. Jing Bear trying to see what damage he'll be able to put in. Pillar that's going to be able to come in as Glacial Prison is going to be able to connect onto the Urgot. He's going to be separated from the side. This is going to be something as the Kog'Maw is just going to be firing away for free. The meta goes down, and the killer guy will be able to reap the benefits of that.
Yeah, and getting kills onto this Kog'Maw early is fantastic. Does find himself up 13 CS here as the tier ends chapter, and is just looking to sit back and scale, and you give him a kill that will accelerate him a little bit. Already almost 200 stacks done on the tier. And, you know, Kog'Maw can only get stronger from this point. Almost level 11 for that first range increase on the ultimate. And then level 16 when it turns into a tactical nuke. You know, still a ways away, but that's out there on the horizon.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to use that that victory horn from Kog'Maw, as we all know and love. He's not going to be playing that song just yet, but he is starting to get to that point. As interesting.
You have dragons coming up.
Teleports are coming in.
both top laners.
They're both very early. They're just trying to make sure they're in the right position here. And
Ash Arrow on Aphelios.
Lanner's going to be able to keep him safe, but now it's going to be Scuzz that's going to get jumped onto. Laying out the damage. Moonlight Vigil going to be able to come in. It's going to be able to connect onto 3 members. As you can see, Nahar is going to be finding himself in a serious situation. But he goes ahead and drops in the box. It's going to be Thresher. He's going to be finding himself going on down. No, he barely survives. As Nugget is dead, he's going to find himself being the first victim inside of this fight. It's going to be Orbit. He's going to be going down next to a bomb that's going to tick away at his life bar. The meta now trying to jump onto Yuho, trying to get whatever damage he can. That's going to be but he's going to bring him into his belly, reel him in, and now it's going to be Kagama looking to make the most out of his pass. It's going to be able to find her over onto the backside as Shinbear is going to go down to Yoshisu, and they are going to be able to find themselves with nothing but chaos unfolding in front of our eyes.
Yeah, Yoshishi gonna turn back on this dragon, but Scuzzrat is here. Hamlet does have teleport, so we'll be able to back right on up here and try and teleport back on in. There is the only ward in the area, but I don't know if they can do this dragon or not. They might actually just do it. Everyone was respawning, but I think they'll be able to get it before everyone gets down there. But Yoshishi's so big now. Got a couple of kills. Is close to completing the Cole. Has the Black Cleaver completed as well. And the Juggernaut is online.
He is looking very, very powerful. He's backing with some nice gold in his pocket. Going to be able to complete that Ninja Tabby and start looking to complete his Death Stance as a second item. And that's where Urgot becomes really terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Death Stance makes you tanky and makes you just heal a metric ton. Yes, please, sign me up for that.
Yeah, even though... And, like, you know, he does count as a ranged champion, so he does have the lower effectiveness of the damage conversion into the bleed, as they changed a few patches ago. But Ash Arrow from downtown!
But something's changed, something's never changed, as it's just going to be the killer guy getting jumped onto, but here comes the Pred and just bursts him down. He didn't have his ultimate available for himself, not going to be able to chrono shift all that pain away.
I think even if he did have Chrono Shift, I think the damage in CC came out too quick that I don't know that he would have even been able to. There might have been an opportunity there for him to get it going, but either way, good timing to get it done. Yeah. But man, the Ash Arrow into the double bombs, that Kog'Maw was CC'd for forever.
Yeah, by the way, Scuzz continuously leaving his lane has given this Urgot the ability to just mulch down this tower, and you can see he's getting to that point where he's very comfortable taking these trades. He's got that Black Cleaver and that Ninja Tabby, and it's just working out very well. And now Goth Boy Clique looking like they're just complete control of the map. The gold was even just 1 minute ago, and the gold lead has been just jumping on up in favor of them, as I feel like they're just controlling the pace.
Yeah, the gold lead is pretty much all in the top lane. Yoshishi is up about 1,300 gold here. So Urgot's strong on the one side, Aphelios and Kog'Maw are strong on the other. But, you know, when you have an Aphelios and an AP Kog'Maw that are strong, it almost doesn't matter what you're playing against, because Kog'Maw can hit people from off-screen, especially once level 16 comes out. And Aphelios is Aphelios. You know, when you have someone who knows how to play Aphelios, play him, the 200 years comes out in force. But Chingbear in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, in a bit of trouble. He's got a little bit of a bomb trail to keep him safe, though. Going to have that nice little slow to keep himself safe. Urgot is coming here. They do see him. He's in the mid lane. You do want to be careful of him. He is raid boss. Nope. Crystal Arrow is coming out. Isn't going to be Kog'Maw. Quick catch, boy. He gets it. He catches it. He's going to get stunned up. He's locked up. He's taken out and put into his belly. He goes on down, and he isn't going to even bother using the passive. He's still CC.
Yeah, just CC after CC into the Urgot ultimate, getting ground on up. Can't steal the big raptor, but man, Yoshishi just feeling it. Goes on in for the dash, but can't quite land it. But the broad passive almost got procced.
Not going to be able to get it. Explosive Cask is going to have to be used by Chingbear, and that kind of talks about the pressure that's going to be been instituted here. Chingbear not being able to use that as a engage tool for himself, trying to disengage with that big ability down. As but this bot lane is going to be in complete control over this tower.
And everyone's just roaming around. Everyone's just like walking back and forth over and over again. But looking at the CS differential in the mid lane, it's starting to stack up, you know, at that about 40 mark now. And Killer Guy is just going to be able to farm for forever.
Yeah, he's at that point, right? He's got that Ceres. He's looking to just stack on up. This is going to be a tower that goes over the other side here. Honeyfruit will be happy to grab that for themselves and keep this gold lead at a manageable level and see what they'll be able to turn this into. As Zergot is really a terrifying force to have to deal with right now. They have to figure out a way to deal with him. He's going to recall with 2,900 gold.
Yeah, and that brings him that much closer to the death stamps. It's just Urgot's strong. I'm just worried about how is anyone going to be able to get onto Kog'Maw and Aphelios once they're grouped up. Like right now, it's been working, right? They land their CC, they land the double bombs, they land the ash arrows, they land the thresh hooks, whatever they can land onto the Kog'Maw when he's just by himself in middle. But in an actual team fight situation, it gets harder to do so. And with this dragon coming up here, they're trying to pick off Kog'Maw. They land
another double bomb.
Arrow.
He catches the arrow yet again. He's just sitting still. He doesn't even care at this point. I'm taking all that damage. We do see the Red Herald is going to get summoned on in. They're going to be looking for more action. Going to be able to catch that volley on the Aphelios there, laying out a little bit of damage for themselves. Looking for more. Orbit's going to get stunned up, taken down, mulched inside of his belly. Now Bear, he's going to be feared up, going to be stunned up. He's going to find himself going down to Nahir as well. They're looking to continue on this pursuit. Might be able to find themselves a little bit more in the way of kills. Looking for possibly another tower here. Aphelios trying to put down a turret. This could be a tricky scenario. Urgot flashes in. Says these legs speak for days, baby. Get him in here. They get him. But the Kog'Maw looking to pew away. He is a living, breathing artillery strike. You see the Zillion ulting away to keep his teammates safe as he can, but they're not going to be able to fend them off as looking for a possible turnaround, but Skullrat knows better. He can't go any further.
Now, all the ultimates are available aside from the box on the side of Honeyfruit, though, so they can look to try and take this dragon while they catch Gothboy Clique on the reset here to try and slow down this dragon timer. Slow it down towards Soul, but Meta's sticking around. He's full health. He can try to flash in and steal this if he really wants to. Looks like he's going to go for it.
Yeah, he's looking for some, possibly looking to try and get his way in there. Orbit did miss everything. That's going to be a Cloud Drake that does go over, but at what cost will be the answer. Urgot not going to be taking that damage. They're going to be able to go ahead and put him inside of there. The fleeing comes out. Team Bear, he's so terrified of Urgot, and I don't blame him as a double kill. Coming out for a Yoshishu as the arrow coming in. Kog'Maw says, not this time. You're not going to get me with that red squeaky toy. He's going to be trying to lay out the damage as he possibly can. Skullrat's going to find himself getting stunned on up. He's got a bomb sitting on top of his head. He's going to go on down to handle it. And that is going to be Gothboy Clique just really just taking control of every single fight.
Yeah, the only thing that could have possibly gone better was if the meta had actually taken away the dragon and forced Soul Point. As it stands now Honeyfruit does not have to contest this next Drake, right? They bought themselves 5 extra minutes of time to scale up, time for Aphelios to get the Runons, time for Kog'Maw to finish the Leandries and possibly build up towards Rylai's or something along those lines as well. He might actually be going Rylai's first. Yeah, he did go Rylai's first, actually. So there you go. Now they have 5 more minutes of time for this Kog'Maw and this Aphelios to scale on up before they have to go fight for the soul. It's actually 10 minutes because this next Drake comes up in 3.5, and then 5 minutes after if it's taken right off spawn. So you have a total about of 8.5 minutes before the actual dragon soul will come up. So taking that dragon, big thing for the side of Honeyfruit with the scaling comp.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get a Just Sentence onto the Braum. Don't know if that's the target that you want. The bot has to go ahead and get dropped down. Not the way you would like to see it, but the Spooky Ghost will come into play. Never seen Thresh so afraid of a ghost before, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen, as now we're getting to see the tango, the dance, going around this Baron pit, and this could be a scary situation for Honeyfruit.
Yeah, I mean, they have tons of poke, though, right? Like, the MR and armored debuff on the side of the Baron actually lends itself to being poked down by Kog'Maw. You have less MR. Kog'Maw doesn't have any magic pen other than the Sork Shoes right now, so any place where you set yourself up to get poked down by Kog'Maw is very invited by the side of Honeyfruit here, but Killer Guy in some big trouble here.
He is in a bad spot. That explosive cask is not going to keep him safe. Here comes yet another fear. King Bear is just terrified of this Urgot. Another double kill, and this Urgot is haunting Honeyfruit.
The last 3 Urgot ultimates have all killed Killer Guy and feared Ching Bear, which then kills Ching Bear. Yoshishi going for that 2-for-1 special on the Urgot ultimate and getting it done. And this is going to be a 23-minute Baron, barring some miracle from the side of Honeyfruit here. But we'll see. Moonlight Vigil is available. There it goes.
Looking for it. It's not going to be able to get the damage that they needed. It's going to find itself going on that now. He's going to be in a terrible situation. They saw what his HP was looking like. That's going to be the Lantern sitting there trying to keep himself safe. Meta's going to jump onto him. Subjugate goes onto him. He is looking to just jump into them, as Knight of the Zed will pick up that kill, and Urgot will go legendary as he takes Thresh's soul, and that is just going to be heartbreaking for Honeyfruit.
Yeah, I was talking about how is Goth Boy Clique going to actually team fight once the Aphelios and the Kog'Maw get entrenched, and that's the answer, is they're just not letting them get entrenched. They're picking off Kog'Maw before all of these objectives. Before the dragon, they caught him off in mid lane as Meta's in the base just running circles, but there's really no way for Meta to get out. He's probably going to go down.
Yeah, I love the fact that his mid laner is just throwing bombs on him. Like, here you go, friend. And the Crystal Arrow does connect, but it will be a shutdown going over. Now Goth Boy Clique getting a little sloppy here.
Yeah, but now Goth Boy Clique, you can see them pinging, hey, we got Dragon coming up. We need to get this one. If you are on the side of Goth Boy Clique, you want to be able to force that soul point, force them to come fight you around it. It is Air Soul, unfortunately, one that not very many people prefer and put a ton of value into. More so the Air Drakes themselves with that ultimate CDR. A lot of people find more useful than the actual Soul, even though it gives a flat movement speed boost. So that's pretty cool. Plus, when you cast your ult, you get extra movement speed there as well. But yeah, Scuzz just running on in, taking that blast plant away. But they're really trying to come in for this dragon. And side of Honeyfruit doesn't have to contest if they don't want to, but that's a fantastic throw.
They got him. They're going to be able to lock him down. Throw away the key. Hamlet's going to be able to pick up the kill onto Orbit. There's going to have to get out of harm's way, but he's going to find himself getting hit by that living artillery as Urgot's going to be able to flash forward and lay out the damage himself. The meta now trying to see if he can jump forward.
He's healing.
Killer guy. He doesn't even care. He doesn't care about what kind of damage you can spit out. He's got Knight of the Zed here too. Back him up.
That flash
to come out of harm's way. He's got that chrono shift onto him, and he's gonna be fine. Knight of Zed will be able to find that kill. Now it's the Killer guy. He is sitting here like, not again, not the Urgot. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to be able to connect onto the Sejuani. Sejuani trying to get out of harm's way. He is possibly looking for more Hamlet, seeing if he can get into range, trying to drop these bombs down for days. Is going to be able to hit him with that GLP, and Urgot goes legendary.
Yeah, 12-0 on the Urgot here. Definitely, having a standout performance on it. After, getting beat up a little bit at the start of game one in lane, we're kind of wondering how Urgot would actually do into it, as we saw Moonlight Vigil come out from on screen. He did not land it, however.
Yep. Unfortunate for him, as this is a very terrifying Urgot. He has got the zoomies, and you do not want to see a Urgot run at you that fast. That is nightmare fuel.
Yeah, and actually, in chat, the red team has agreed to a surrender, so that's going to be the series. The best of three comes down. One game cut short by a disconnection, the other a 26-minute forfeit after the base was broken.
I mean, that's crazy. It's been a while since I've seen a surrender, but I don't know if I've had a surrender inside of playoffs before, and that just shows the pace that Goth Boy Clique was playing at. This Urgot, the way they were moving around with the Ash, this Enchanted Crystal Arrows were chef's kiss, beautiful, on point, and really made the Killer guy look like he was the dog trying to chase around the red squeaky ball that was getting thrown around in the park. eventually he wised up to it, but it was too little too late, and
Yeah.
they never got to
mean,
entrench.
He did do a ton of damage, as you should when you play AP Kog'Maw, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, before every objective, he was found out and got hit by all the CC. Just it seemed anytime there was an objective, the Kog'Maw would get caught out and wasn't able to entrench himself and get things done. And that's what I was talking about, was how is Gothboy Clique going to actually team fight against that composition with a Sejuani and a Gragas and a Thresh buying space for the Aphelios and Kog'Maw to work? Just don't team fight him. Just kill him before the team fights. Sometimes it's that simple.
I mean, the ultimate CC is just killing them, right? If you got the gray screen status effect, that's a status effect that it doesn't. There's nothing you can do. You can't buy tenacity to make that go down lower or anything like that. It's just a disgusting thing. And man, oh man, this was just Gothboy Clique making a very big statement with one game to show it, to strut their stuff. They came here to play.
Yeah, and definitely showing that Yoshishi Zergod is something to fear. When you give him a lane like that into the Sejuani top lane, he just pops off, goes 12-0-7. I think he may have been revived by a zillion once, so technically one death, but you can also argue that he wouldn't have played that aggressive had he not had the zillion ultimate available. So either way, a fantastic performance from Yoshishi. You're probably going to ask me for the MVP. We'll give it to him for that standout performance there.
I didn't feel like I needed to ask you, to be honest with you. I was going to make him the MVP no matter what. If you tried to fight me on that, I was going to be like, listen, guys.
Let me tell you about how well this game went for him, right? He took Last Stand in his runes. That's the one in the Coup de Grace tree where you do more damage the lower you are on health. He only did 347 bonus damage. He was not at low health, like at all, that entire game. It's not uncommon for Last Stand numbers to be in 1,000 or 2,000 range. And in a game where he went 12-0-7, he only did 347 damage with Last Stand. So he was just full health the whole game.
Honestly, a monster amongst men. I feel like he might have that champion banned away from him. Just a gut feeling from now on. I feel like people are going to look at him. That's the team that has to face them. Gothboy Clique gonna have to do more than the shuffle. As for your dance moves there, you're gonna have to watch out, because I feel like we're gonna see a lot of targeted bans with the performance they put out here today. But it does draw into the question, what do you ban away? I say played a completely different style this time around from game one, even though we didn't get to see much of game one. It does show that they're flexible in the way they're able to play the game.
Yeah, and just looking at the draft real quick here, seeing what they banned away. They banned away Lysandra, Karthus, and Olaf both games, and I can definitely see the merits for banning all those champions. Lysandra just able to go in and impose her will on people. Karthus got buffed, is really, really strong right now. Is seeing play bottom lane, mid lane, and jungle, and even probably top lane too. You could probably put him there. 4-way flex, very good champ, does damage to everyone, good to ban. And Olaf, if someone's good at Olaf, you generally don't give them the Olaf. So I don't know where there's room in bans for Urgot, but some teams got to try something. Maybe someone's got something to play into Olaf or Karthus or Lysandra and lets them gets rid of the Urgot instead.
They're gonna have to figure something out. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for us here today. Congratulations to Gothboy Clique for moving on in the UML playoffs, and thank you all for coming out and watching. I know we had a couple technical difficulties. It turned into a podcast at one point in time. Didn't turn back into a cast. Then it turned into what was a very, very fun game of League of Legends to be able to watch. I want to thank everybody for the personal victory that we have here today. You know what? You all that watch this made it possible. We have a Poggy Woggy emo inside the chat, so make sure you take advantage of that by hitting that subscribe button. That way you'll be able to drop all the finest and the hottest of Poggy Woggies. But with that being said, my name's Travis C. I've been joined here by Guster Posey. We'll catch y'all next time.